Well, I'm Brazilian and I'm from Minas Gerais state, a city called Uberlândia. And I had a contact with like the field since I was a children. It's because my parents, they're like, they have like farms. So I was born like almost in a farm. And I always used it to look my father like working with large animals. So I always like look at him and thought, oh my God, is that thing that I want to be? I don't think that you choose the career. I think that the main point is that the career choose you. Especially me in this point because I always love animals in all my life. During all all my life, I always were in contact with the animals. So definitely to being a veterinarian, a doctor, they choose me because I look to my father that he's also a vet, my grandfather that is also a vet, and when I look at them like working with the animals, I always thought that I want to be like them, definitely. So at that point, I put this in my mind and did the test, and now finally I'm a vet as them. I had a big journey actually because I always want to focus on my studies on like researchers, especially researchers at fields, especially. And I did a vet school doing 5 years in Uberlândia, that is my city. After that, I did a master degree in my city, the Federal University of Uberlândia, that were like 2 years. And after that, I chose to do a PhD and I stayed like 4 years working with large animals during my PhD. But I moved. I went to the university in Jabuticabal, that's São Paulo State University, where I stayed for like 4 years doing my PhD in large animals too. Doing all my long academic career, I I had some experience living away from my country. Like in my master's, I stayed like 6 months in a farm in the United States. In California, it was a dairy farm, like with high production milk cows. And doing that was like very, very nice because I worked especially in the field every day as a vet. And I did like pregnancy diagnosis, artificial inseminations, embryo transfer, in vitro fertilization, and it was very nice to start like open my mind to know what I really wanted to do in this reproduction area. And after that, when I started my PhD in the first year in the last semester, I moved to Canada where I stayed in University of Guelph doing 1 year, and it was the first time that I had the experience to work in the lab and in the field together because I could to relate both, like work in the lab with like samples, bovine samples, and see how it will reflect on the field with the large animals. And in my last year of my PhD, I lived 1 year at Swansea University, and where I worked especially all the time in the laboratory. But it was very nice because it was a challenge for me because it was my first time inside the lab. I was used to work only in the farms with like animals, and it was my first experience. It was very, very challenge to stay in the laboratory working with samples. So we developed some tests, especially in uterine. So we got some samples from slaughterhouse, and we developed some techniques to understand how the local uterine immune defense worked against some species. Well, my last experiment was from my PhD, and it was a very nice experiment because we we want to explore how the local immunity of the uterus will defense against some pathogens like virus or bacteria. So we put some virus analogs in the uterus, and we did some tests like ELISA tests, like Western blot tests, to see how the local immunity of the bovine uterus will protect against some infections, and this will might reflect on the pregnancy test in the future. So it was basically a test, especially to explore the immunity of the uterus in bovines.
Atualmente, como você enxerga a área em que atua no cenário nacional?
Well, nowadays the reproduction area is a very large area, and I think that it's going to increase, especially in Brazil, because Brazil is a big country and has like a large herd of bovine, and it's around 212 billions of animals, and we have to explore, we have to know, we have to explore to make like more beef or more milk, and the reproduction area come especially to progress this area in animal genetics, in increasing the pregnancy rates and decreasing infertility. So I think that this area is very, very important. It's going to be very increasing. For being a woman, I don't think I found a challenge to work in the field. I think I found a pleasure. Because I don't think that women are like worse than men, definitely not. I know that sometimes we're not as strong as men, but we have the same abilities, we have uh, the same kind of to treat the animals. So I think of being a woman is very, very, very pleasure, and I think that all women that want to work in the field with large animals never give up. You never give up, so just trust yourself, go there, and make it the best you can. And that's it. I'm very pleasure to have this interview. I thanks for all the invitation and for the new project of Woman in the Field from Brazil. And it's a pleasure to be here. And if you have any questions or anything else, just let me know. Thanks.